We have new information tonight about possible new legal trouble for President Trump's former lawyer and fixer, who is already preparing for prison time. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Harridge is here with that story tonight. Good evening, Catherine.
Thank you, Brennan. Good evening. House Democrats signaled over the weekend that the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Elijah Cummings, would likely send a criminal referral to the Justice Department for Michael Cohen for allegedly lying during his recent testimony.
I have never asked for, nor would I accept, a pardon from President Trump.
Cohen's lawyer, Lanny Davis, who sat through the 7 hours of testimony, issued a clarifying statement that before July 2018, quote, he, Cohen, directed his attorney to explore possibilities of a pardon. Today, the White House press secretary called out the inconsistencies.
We know that he's lied at least twice in that hearing. I think that it's time to stop giving him a platform, let him go on to serve his time, and let's move forward.
Two House Republicans, Jim Jordan and Mark Meadows, are now tying Cohen to Adam Schiff, the Democratic chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, after discrepancies emerged about their pre-testimony meetings.
I spoke to Mr. Schiff about topics that were going to be raised at the upcoming hearing.
The extent of my contact was just inviting him to testify and also trying to allay his concerns about the president's threats against him and his family.
This week, 4 of President Trump's aides and their cases are back in the courts, where former National Security Advisor Mike Flynn and campaign advisor Rick Gates may learn that the special counsel no longer requires their cooperation. Former campaign chairman Paul Manafort will learn from a D.C. judge if he faces more jail time, and a trial date is expected for political operative Roger Stone. All of these developments, Brett, signal the Mueller investigation is likely in its final stages.
We've said it all the time, but
it
could be days away. All right, Catherine, thank you.
You're
Let's
welcome.
get reaction to all of this breaking news from senior political analyst Britt Hume. Good evening, Britt. First, your thoughts on the speaker saying, you know, impeachment? No, I don't think so.
Haley Barbour, the former Republican chairman, used to say that all political parties are coalitions, and certainly they are. The more successful you are, the broader your coalition of elected officials, and the greater the possibility that such a coalition will become fractious. That clearly seems to be the case with what Nancy Pelosi is dealing with now. She's got a squadron of young and rambunctious members who were not around for a lot of what led up to all this and want to have it their way, and it's not clear how well they'll respond to the idea that she's taking impeachment off the table, barring some explosive new development. I think, however, Brett, that it's good politics to avoid impeachment. When the Republicans did it to Bill Clinton, even though he clearly lied to a grand jury, it backfired. He was not convicted in the Senate, and he left office in something of a blaze of glory. So I'm sure that's what Nancy Pelosi is thinking about as she looks ahead to the possibilities surrounding Donald Trump.
Yeah, one of those members, and there are quite a few of them, speaking out about this, is Congresswoman Tlaib. Take a listen.
If we don't hold impeachment proceedings today, start them today and hold him accountable to following the United States Constitution, think about that. This is not going to be the last CEO that runs for President of the United States. This is not going to be the last person that tries to get away with this. And what does that say about the most powerful, most important most important position in the world?
Now, I'm sure she left herself an out with her statement today if something develops that rises to the level. But there is going to be some tough pushback on some of these members who are really pushing for this.
Well, and it's also this, Brett, that, you know, if you take impeachment off the table, you know, these investigations which are proliferating in the House committees, even and are expected to continue vigorously whatever Bob Mueller reports, you wonder what people will think of them, you know, where they think they're going. What's the purpose of them? I mean, they don't have any apparent legislative purpose. So, you know, they certainly could affect how those investigations are seen. And you wonder how those committee chairmen that are conducting them will feel about this position from Speaker Pelosi. I suspect that what will happen is that they'll say, well, let us keep investigating, and if we turn up anything, we'll get back to you. But I think she's likely to remain hesitant.
You know, Britt, heading into the Michael Cohen testimony up on Capitol Hill, there were some portraying it as if he was going to be John Dean in the Watergate hearings. Now you have the inkling on Capitol Hill and some whispers around town that, in fact, he could be facing more troubles, a referral for lying numerous times in that testimony.
You know, Brett, when that hearing occurred, I found it so depressing to watch because I didn't know who it spoke worse of, whether it spoke worse of Donald Trump for retaining him all those years, or worse for the House committee for making him such a star witness. And make no mistake about it, he was a star witness. He was the first witness in this set of hearings. He testified all day long. He's since testified to 2 other committees. And now it emerges that despite all that he said about being a new person who's turned over a new leaf, he may have lied at least twice in that testimony, which destroys the credibility of the whole outing, I think, and that leaves him even more damaged goods and leaves the House committee with egg on its face for having featured him so prominently. It'll be interesting to see what Elijah Cummings, who said he'd go after him hard if he lied, does now.
Yeah, we will see. It could be a very newsy week. Britt, as always, thank you.